Welcome, beautiful soul. You're listening to the Boss Body Podcast, where we empower busy women in midlife, menopause, and beyond with the tools they need to release weight, physical, mental, and emotional, to create the vibrant, healthy life they deserve. If you're successful in so many areas of your life, but you struggle to give yourself the same love and care you offer everyone else, you've found your community. I'm your host, Sarah Haas, women's weight release and body love coach, and I'm here to help you age radiantly, feel good in your body, and live a joyful, energized life now and for decades to come. Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here because I'm talking about something today that I hear all the time. It is an issue that so many women struggle with, something that when my clients first come to me is probably their biggest struggle. And that is this issue around consistency. So staying with your health plan, maintaining your results. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You want to release some weight. So you clean up your eating, you start some kind of plan, you're moving more, you're doing great with what you're eating. And for a while, things are going really well. You're seeing results, you're feeling great. And then all of a sudden, life starts happening. Things get busy. You have a stressful week or a stressful month. Maybe you go on vacation and you fall off a little bit and your momentum kind of starts to slow down. And the next thing you know, you're spiraling out. You're completely off the plan. And then the weight is creeping back little by little. So I see this all the time. And what I see is that women blame themselves. We're so hard on ourselves, and we automatically assume that it's because we don't have discipline. But I'm going to talk to you today about why this cycle's actually happening and why it's not your fault, and also what we can do about it. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons you keep falling off track and how to break the cycle for good. So I'm guessing if you're here, you've probably tried tons of diets, Weight Watchers, keto, South Beach, maybe just nothing but liquid diets or like frozen prepackaged meals, that kind of thing. And the fact is, over 95% of diets fail to work long term. So most of these women not only regain their original weight, but they also end up gaining even more. And it's called weight cycling. It's so bad for your metabolism. It does so much more harm than good. And it also really is tough for our confidence and for our self-trust. Because, like I said, we like to blame ourselves. We like to think, oh, I don't have willpower. I don't have motivation. But diet culture teaches you that. They're saying it's your fault. But if you think about it in a classroom setting, let's just use this metaphor. If 95% of students failed a class, would you blame the students or would you blame the teacher? So the fact is, you have not failed. It's these systems that have failed you. So I'm going to talk to you about the reasons why this happens, what the real problem is, and then how you can do something differently. So first of all, these plans are absolutely unsustainable from the get-go. So right out of the gate, all they're talking to you about is deprivation, right? Eating fewer calories, smaller portions, less points, or like cutting out entire food groups or fasting and only eating at certain times of the day. And that type of life is not sustainable. Nobody wants to be hungry all the time. Nobody wants to feel like they're just eating diet foods or shakes or frozen foods or whatever. And you don't want to constantly be focusing on food all day and counting your points and counting your calories. And also constantly just focused on what not to eat and what you can't have. And I don't know if you're like me, but if someone tells me I can't have something, it absolutely just makes me want it even more. So, of course, you're going to get burnt out. Of course, you're going to get sick of it. It is too restrictive. And that is the way it's set up. The dieting industry sets it up that way to keep you as a repeat customer because you're always chasing after that next new trendy thing that's going to finally work. But here's something that I say all the time: if it is miserable, it is not sustainable. So never start a plan where you feel miserable and you don't feel like you could live that way forever. I'm a chocolate lover. I don't plan to ever live my entire life without chocolate or without having a glass of wine. So you need something that is flexible. You need some balance. You need some moderation. And I want to talk to you about a big mindset shift that can really help you move toward that instead of being so restricted. And it's a method I call adding in. And so instead of focusing on what you can't have or what you shouldn't have, you actually think about what are the good things that I need that will nourish me and keep me satisfied. Because when you're getting all of those things, you're naturally going to crowd out the less than healthy stuff. You don't have room, you don't have desire for it. You're going to feel full, you're going to feel satisfied. Your cravings and your hunger are naturally going to go down. So don't focus on what you can't have. Focus on getting in what you need. And once you start doing that, you're not going to be eating so much of the junky stuff, and your weight is automatically going to go down. So, this mindset shift is critical. And to me, it is absolutely a foundation to long term weight release. So, that's the first thing. Second thing is many, if not most, of these plans are super overwhelming. There's all this information, there's all these rules to follow, there's all these do's and don'ts, and there's so much crowded into your mind. You're basically having to overhaul your entire life to work around this diet. And it takes time, it takes energy, it takes up so much brain space. And if you're in midlife, you're already tired. You're already super busy. I know how that is. I'm 53. I'm about to turn 54. I'm in menopause. I have two kids in college. I'm an entrepreneur. I work for myself. So I'm busy, and I understand that you are too. So doing this complete overhaul is just absolutely not going to be sustainable. So, even if you have a really, really good food and nutrition plan, if it's overwhelming and it doesn't work for your life, you are not going to be able to stick to it. And I hear over and over again, women will say, well, it does work. It does work when I do it. But if it only works when you're doing it and you can't stick with it, it's not actually working. And that's why I hear all the time women will say, I've lost and gained the same 10, 15, 20 pounds over and over and over again for years or even decades. That's what keeps you in that on again, off again cycle. So if you really want to stay on track, especially when you're busy, you have to think in terms of small steps. So changing one thing at a time and then waiting until that becomes second nature, and then you move on to the next thing. Habit change is so much more effective when you take small steps. So you're establishing these doable habits, and then you scale them up and stack them until living healthy is just something you naturally do without even thinking about it. So if you're trying to get healthy and you're in midlife and you are busy, you need simplicity. You need something that is easily repeatable, and you need something that will work with a real life rhythm. Here's the third thing that I see, and this is a secret self sabotage, and that is getting into the trap of black and white thinking. It's this all or nothing. We think we have to be perfect or forget it, it didn't work, chuck the whole plan. So we go all in, we're all excited, we're all motivated, we're doing great. Then a holiday comes up, then a weekend happens, or you take a vacation and you're like, oh, well, I wasn't perfect. I screwed the whole thing up. And then it takes you, you're saying, oh, I'll start again Monday. I'll start again next month. I'll start again in the new year. And that's that same thing. It's that cycling. So when you think about it, it's like you're either on one side where you're on a diet, right? And you're restricting and you're hungry and you're hangry and you're miserable and you don't like the foods you're eating. Or you swing all the way to the other side of the pendulum and you're off the diet and you're eating junk, you're gaining weight, you're feeling bloated, you're feeling miserable. And it's those two extremes that cause that pendulum to keep swinging back and forth. And the key is to find your sweet spot. It's that spot where you are nourishing yourself. You're healthy most of the time, but you still have indulgences in moderation, and you feel good in your body, and you're happy with the way that you're eating, and you're happy with the way that you're living. So, the mindset shift for this is really that getting healthy is a long game. It's like a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's kind of like the stock market. When you think about the stock market over time, it goes up and then it has a dip. It goes up and then it has a dip. But over time, it's always been trending upward. It doesn't look perfect. Some days are better than others. It's never going to look perfect all the time. But your mindset shift is if I get off track, it's not a failure. That's just a temporary little blip on the screen. And that is what consistency looks like over time. If you get off track, you just get back on. And over time, that's a system that will keep you progressing forward. If this is resonating and you can relate to all of this, I have been cooking up something really delicious for you. I invite you to check out my new 4-week live group coaching program called Menopause Metabolism Makeover. I just opened enrollment. It's not a diet, it's what I've been talking about. It's a very simple system for consistent, sustainable weight release. And I created it specifically for women who are in midlife, menopause, and beyond. So I'm using science backed strategies that work for your midlife body, for your metabolism, for your hormones. But it's also my no nonsense method that actually works for your busy life. So it's not a diet, it's setting a foundation for a healthy lifestyle that you can maintain long term. It's a live coaching program, so you will have my support and my guidance the whole time. You won't have to do it alone. We're going to work in small, doable action steps. We'll work together week by week to create those healthy habits that you can build on. And the great thing is, with this group coaching structure, we're in it together. So there's a lot of support and a lot of momentum and excitement because you have support not just from me, but you're supported by the group of women who are all working together with the same goal of getting healthy. And most people do really well with a container and with some accountability. So, this is going to go a long way to keeping you showing up for yourself. You'll be learning how to jumpstart fat release. You can expect to see real visible progress. You'll be building momentum so that can keep you moving forward towards your goals. And we're going to set up a simple, repeatable structure so that you can eat well and live well that works even on busy weeks. So you stop that falling off track every time life gets hectic and then ending up having to start all over again. So it's not about trying harder. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about building a system that you can actually live long term. Menopause Metabolism Makeover starts March 10th. I have the link below in the show notes so that you can check it out and get all the details. I would love, love, love to have you there. It would be my honor to support you. And thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you again soon. Thank you so much for being here. I'm honored that you've chosen to spend your time with me and allowed me to be part of your journey. In case you need to hear this, you are enough. You're smart enough. You're successful enough. You're beautiful enough. You're important enough. You are enough right now, just as you are. You were enough yesterday. You'll be enough tomorrow. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe and share it with the amazing women in your life who could use a little extra love and support. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.